Hey everybody. Hope everybody is having a great day. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in this world. Thanks for joining us. We want to take a second just to promote Decisions Days. If you have those obscure questions that you think would be better face-to-face conversation with, or maybe you want to learn a bit more about decisions, here's some more use cases. Decisions Days is the place for you to be. It is a great time to come experience the culture of decisions firsthand, meet some coworkers, meet some employees of decisions, talk through some use cases, and get that face-to-face help that you're looking for. So, if you're interested, tell us, get signed up. We'd love for you to join us. We'll give everyone else a couple more minutes just to log on and join us. We have a couple questions that were submitted ahead of time, and so we can go through each one of those once. Let's give them until like 12:02, and we'll call it. So.
Grab like 10 more than I put
Okay, it is 12:02. So we're going to start with some pre-submitted questions. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and we'll go to my decisions environment. So our first question here was submitted, and it is revolving around the view completed form action that was submitted. So Janice, I think you were the one that submitted the question, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I created a little example for you. So by default, assignments, once they are finished, once they're resolved, they are hidden in the folder view. So I made this simple little workflow. It's just going to create me a fake assignment. It's going to show up right here. This folder right here is where I stored all my assignments, right? So I put it in here. You can see the submitted one, or the one that was that is not complete, that's still in action, is just hanging out here. But then if you go over here and you change the report to with hidden, you can see here's all my other assignments, the ones that are already completed. So they're marked as hidden in the folder. And you can see I have that completed action, that view completed form right here. And that's what kind of guards this. So what I did was I made a simple report viewer. The folder view by default, yes, hides it, but the report viewer allows you to show things that are hidden versus non-hidden. It doesn't really matter. So what I did right here is I made an action that would create me a fake assignment. I just submitted one right here. You can see this completed is false. And I'm going to go ahead and take action on this assignment. Please fill in whatever. I'm going to put tomato in here, and I'm just going to hit complete. and you'll see it drop off my completed false to completed equals true. So it's going to be right here, the one I just completed. You'll see I have the ability to view completed form. But if I come over here and I shrink this one, you'll see this one, I'm not logged in as admin, I'm logged as Josh. So you'll see I can still see these things on my dashboard. I can see the view completed form. I can see tomato. So you don't have to be the one who completes the assignment to be able to see the view completed form. What it does, what you're noticing is like you go to the inbox, you complete the assignment, and then for like a couple minutes, that assignment stays there where you can view the completed form, and then eventually it'll just drop off, never to be seen again in your inbox. But if you know where you put the assignment, so if you know where the assignment lives, it'll continue to live there if it's completed or not, So my example here, I'll go back to my admin view and I'll go into this create assignment workflow. So the big contributor here is if you go to assignment setup, assignment folder type, you can pick where your assignments live. So essentially what I did was I want them to live here in this folder I designated assignment stored here. And then if I go to that assignment stored here folder, which I put a page on it, it's right here. But if I go to this folder view, you can see I have nothing, right? That's because all of them are hidden once they are complete. So I can go here and I can see all my assignments that I did work. So if you know where your assignment lives, you can make a report viewer where you can view the completed ones. Does that help? Or I guess if you wanted to give me a little bit more context about your specific issue, we can discuss it as well.
Yeah. What I'm actually kind of looking for is, there's a user who can submit a form, and then there's a manager who can see all the forms. And what we want is to be able to access that action item, the view completed form or the link. I guess like from the flow, is that possible?
You said from the flow?
Or in a flow, rather.
If you want to access the view completed form in a flow, how so?
Let's say I have a dashboard and off to the side I have a view button. If I click the view button, it runs the flow and let's say sends the view completed form link to a manager or something.
Oh, so you want to be able to send the view completed form link. Oh, that's perfectly fine. What I would imagine here is like you having a dashboard just like how it created right here. I don't have to be assigned this, I don't have to be assigned these assignments to be able to look at them. I can look at them right here. View completed form, just a right click action. That's perfectly fine. So what I'm imagining is instead of sending the link to the view completed form, you actually just send them to this dashboard. It says, hey, go look at this form or something like that. Send a notification to them to go look at it. Do you know where your assignments are being stored? Is this a part of like a kind of process folder implementation?
Yeah.
Like, I guess, how are these assignments being stored?
They are in a process folder.
They're in a process folder. All right, perfect. So you probably have a folder that has all your process folders inside of them, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if you come here, another key kind of thing in here is I didn't just pick assignment data source. I picked a folder filter as well. And what you're probably going to want is go in here into in folders, and you can do for folder and subfolders, right? If you want to show every single assignment in a folder, in your process data folder, which will go into your subfolders, your process folders, and look at all the assignments, you can pick this filter on here and it'll show everything. So then you can come in here, you can pick whatever you want. So I just made my, I have this in this LNL, 09, I have it in the assignment help. If I just pick this, and you'll see only my assignments that are in that folder and subfolders. So is that helpful?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So an admin view would be able to view every single assignment that is in all the process folders and subfolders. There's another kind of thing I would like to point out here. If you don't need the form or the assignment to be viewed, that view completed action, I would recommend turning it off. You can turn it off right here in this completed form, save form result view. So if you have an assignment that you don't necessarily need to have that view completed form, I would turn this off. It's just storing data you don't need. And it can, you'll benefit from turning that off. If you don't necessarily need it, it might just store up data in your system. So yeah, if you need any more help involving like, setting us how to set this up, how to get this kind of working for your admins, this nice view, reach out to me. I can definitely help you get this done. My email is josh@decisions.com. So another thing I recommend, if you don't want your users like deleting these assignments or having all these actions, you can set it at the page level. So what do we want? We want view completed form. Go ahead and hit edit. Look right here. Go to behavior. You can filter actions by name. You can hit the type in view completed form. Save this. Exit this. Exit this. And you can see I only see view completed form here. So, and if you want them to be like, okay, I want them to see view completed form, but I don't want them doing tasks on here, that'll work as well. So they won't see the actions. They'll just see the view completed form. So cool. Janice, do you have any other questions revolving around this?
No, that's pretty good right there.
Okay, cool. Again, just let me know if you need any more help. Happy to help you build this out and make it best. So, okay, on to our next submitted question. This one's a little bit harder. Is there a way to access the context menu items for entities in lists or reports so that the menu item text and action can be incorporated into a custom user interface? It's pretty loaded, but Walter, you submitted that. Is there any way you can kind of walk me through what that question means? Give me a little bit more detail.
Okay, basically, like what you just did on this list of items where you right mouse click and you see view completed form, and I think there was a delete assignment or something like that. Mm-hmm. And if I wanted to grab those menu items and the actions that occur when they're clicked, is there a way that I could get those so that I could put them in a UI that maybe had, a variety of rules about who can see what, and we have like AD groups that control who can do what things, and that I think might be beyond what we can just do with the normal settings.
Yeah, have you ever looked into action visibility rules in Decisions?
Nope.
Okay, action visibility rules allow you to I guess, remove actions and show actions depending on who the user is, and it's really helpful. You don't have to get them into a menu and then present them in a way. You can let the system kind of work its magic there. So what I'll do is let's get set up here. I'll just make it. Okay, so let's create a database structure here. Actually, let's create an entity called superhero. Perfectly fine, just date of birth. That's all I need. All right, so I have my superhero. I'm also going to add in here is I'm going to add a folder to hold all my superheroes. Okay, so now let's create a flow to create my superheroes. I'm just going to create one just for kicks and giggles, and we'll give it an action. So create superhero. It's going to ask for folder ID. I'm going to pick constant. I'm going to pick my superheroes. And to create and build data, I'm gonna say Superman. Oh man, created on date for Superman is gonna be rough. I'll just say he was born in 2002, February. That's better. Oh man, didn't click it. Okay, 2014, February. Okay, close and save. I'm gonna just run this, run flow. Gonna create Superman. So go here to my folder. I'm gonna see Superman. Actions are pretty basic. So I'm gonna give him an action. So I'm gonna say display superhero. And then I want to just give a pop-up here. Say show pop-up. All it's going to do is display center subject. I'll select from flow. Edit. I'm going to go into my entity. I pick its entity name. Perfect. Done. Oh, maybe I didn't pick it. Cool. Sorry. Now, if I come back here, go to my superheroes, I can right click him and I can say display superhero. It's gonna superhero's name is Superman, right? I don't want everybody to have actions. I don't want everybody to have that action, right? So I'm going to go down to system. I'm going to go down to security, go down to groups, and I'm going to create a group here. So let's create a group that says superhero admins. Say okay, that's good. And I'm only going to add admin at decisions to this group. Let's save. Perfect. If I go back to my superhero configuration, I have display superheroes. Now for action visibility rule, I can create one that says hide all actions, or I'll just hide display. Hide display unless in superhero admin group. So I'm going to go here and it's going to ask me for action. All you have to do is do action name. If this is return true, you won't see anything, right? So if I remove this and just hit save, close this out, I can go back to my superheroes and I won't see a thing. It'll say no actions, because if that's true, if that action is, or if that visibility rule is true, then it's going to hide any action that was specified or any action that was not specified. So you have to specify one. So if we're to come in here and say edit rule, say action name equals, what was it, display superhero? Display superhero, done, close. Now close and save this. Let's just duplicate our tab here. And go to my superheroes. That's true, I don't see display, right? Because it's true. So if I come in here and add another criteria and say, all right, unless flow data initiating user, but I need initiating user group, unless this list contains superhero admin, right? Is it the superhero admins? Perfect, done. Close, save. If I go back out here, I right click it, let's refresh. Oh, something's wrong here. Cheating user groups, superhero admins. Did I spell something wrong in here? I'm gonna save this again. Make sure maybe it didn't save. It might display it wrong. Let's debug this. Maybe I didn't put a name in here. Interesting. So let's do some troubleshooting here. Flow data initiating user groups. Contains superhero admins. Let's go back to my system security groups. Just hit this here. Oh, okay. This is, I need to do not, that's what my problem is here. Because this is true, right? My action name equals display hero and my initiating user contains superhero. So actually anybody, if I put not in here, hit save. If I go back, I can see it, right? But then my my Josh over here, Josh at decisions, he's not in that superhero group, so he can't see it, right? So that's kind of what we want to have to do. If you want to hide actions, you can use action visibility rules on your structure to be able to hide and show depending on the use case, depending on the scenario, right? Does that answer your question? Does that help?
Yeah, I think that'll serve the same purpose.
You said what?
It'll serve the same purpose as what I was trying to do, so that
Yeah.
will work.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll do exactly the same thing. And sometimes these action visibility rules can be pretty complex. Sometimes I recommend making, if it gets too complex, it might be helpful to have different dashboards that only do only do a certain actions, and then only give permissions to those dashboards to certain people. That might help as well. You can use the default hide show action names that I showed in the last assignment one. So, yep. Any other questions there, Walter?
Nope, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Feel free to send in a support ticket, and you can CC me if you have any issues, setting this up. Happy to help you there.
Okay, thanks.
So, cool. All right. Any other questions that anybody has? Okay. If not, I can just go ahead and just start building something if you guys would like. I've been working on this for a customer. They're trying to manage. They're trying to manage these things they call clinical units. Clinical units are like an ambulance, and then inside of a clinical unit, they're called a clinical unit area, and then they hold clinical unit things. So I built in this small example, create clinical unit. I'm going to do ambulance 1 and say create. Come here and refresh. I'll see ambulance 1. I can click into ambulance 1. I can say, all right, let's do a clinical area. Let's do drawer 1 in the ambulance. I create that. Hit refresh, and now I have drawer 1 where I can add a clinical item. So I'm going to add a Band-Aid to this clinical area. So I'm going to add a Band-Aid, and now you'll see I have Band-Aid in drawer 1. So I'm going to add another. I'm going to say drawer 2. So now I'll have drawer 2. Drawer 2 will have nothing in it, so let's add something. Let's add I don't know, add a toothbrush. Sometimes people call ambulance for bad breath or something. So now in drawer 1, I have Band-Aids. Drawer 2, I have toothbrushes. A good use case for this, the only thing I can think of is me and my fiance are terrible about buying food and not knowing the expiration date, and then it just expires in our fridge. So if you wanted to maybe set up some kind of thing where you can, say, all right, in my fridge, I have this pack of bacon this pack of bacon expires on the 12th, and I want to get notified when that pack of bacon expires, right? So let's say, for the sake, my toothbrush has an expiration date. Let's give my clinical item configuration. Let's go here and add a clinical item. Where is it? Add a expiration date to my toothbrush. Let's go ahead and make that a date time. Hit save. And let's go into my clinical area configuration, because in there I have a add clinical item to area. I'm going to edit this flow, and I'm going to add one more thing to this. So it's no longer just a name. Give it 3030. And I'm going to add expiration date. Perfect. Okay. And I'm going to add a date time picker. Expiration date. Perfect. Save on this. Just hit close. And for this create clinical item, now that it has an expiration date, I'm going to select from flow, select our designated expiration date. I'm going to say just ignore the first one. So perfect. So all right. Now if I were to duplicate my tab, let's go into that all clinical units and ambulance 1 into drawer 2, which is good. Now I'm going to add a expiration date to this item. Expiration date. Now I don't have any kind of thing in here built to be able to edit this item. So this expiration date is going to be done, but I'm going to add another, let's say toothbrush 2. I'm going to say it's going to expire. I'm going to say it expired last on the 6th. And I'm going to just hit create. Come over here, you'll see my toothbrush 2, and it expired a couple days ago. So I want to get alerts when things will expire in my system, right? So I'm going to create a flow for this. I'm going to say expiration notification. It rhymes. It's actually in sounds like a song name. So what I'm going to do here is I don't care about the clinical areas. I don't care about the clinical units in this kind of thing. I want to say, like, what are my things that expire? So I'm going to fetch entities in this example. And I want to fetch my clinical item. Perfect. And now my fetch criteria, I want to say expiration date greater than or less than? Less than. Expiration greater than, less than current date time, right? So let's see what I get here, because I should only have one item. I should only have my toothbrush 2. Perfect. So now I have every item that is in my metaphorical, clinical area that has expired. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to send myself a notification. I don't think my emails are working right, so I'm just going to put a placeholder step in here. That's just going to notify me of all the items. So this is just, let's say this is my email that I want to send out. I want to do a join strings here. I'm going to join all of my items. So the separator is going to be comma. My source is going to be all of my entity results. My entity results item name. I think you can just use entity name in this example, but we're just going to do that. Because it's going to return a list, and I need to get this in a string format. Toothbrush 2. If I wanted to do more robust things, I could do that. But now, from this point, I have a list of things that have expired. I can put them into a single string, and I could send myself an email that says like, okay, these things have expired. And from that point, I can do some more kind of heavy integration here. But now I have a nice little thing in here that helps, hospitals or stuff kind of keep their ambulances fully stocked, or maybe their whatever they consider a clinical unit. Some people consider like drawers in like a classroom or drawers in a hospital room. They want to make sure all of their rooms are fully stocked. So what you can do also with this system is maybe run a scheduled job every day that says, hey, go check the clinical unit this, or maybe once a week. That's a person can get a task that says clinical unit 1 needs to be inspected. That inspection could follow a list of like, all right, filling up items that have been fill up items in clinical unit areas to make sure they're fully stocked with things, make sure they have enough Band-Aids, enough toothbrushes, enough syringes to fully operate. This way they can make sure that all of their areas, their clinical areas, are fully stocked with this kind of maintenance system, as well as me for my fridge. I can make sure my fridge has everything that I need to cook for the week, everything I need. I just need to know what's in there. I mean, that's kind of a silly example, but it's actually has real world implications, right? I can manage my fridge by using decisions. So, if any of you guys can think of like very specific ways that can, they can use this to help their system. In another Lunch and Learn, I explained that I have this project called Wedding Stuff because I'm getting married soon, right? I want to manage all of my addresses because I didn't realize at the end of or during your wedding you have three invites to send out, or three mailing opportunities. You have to send a save the date, an invite, and then a thank you. Who knew? But anyways, I'm using Decisions to maintain all of my addresses for all of my people. So it's just super helpful. So if you have any other ways that you'd like to kind of explore on how Decisions can make your life easier, we'd love to hear about them. These use cases are fun. They're interesting. They're very helpful at the least. So I had this one idea when I first got started to help me figure out. You can see all of my ideas for using Decisions are based around food. One of my ideas was helping me figure out what ingredients I need to get from the grocery store. So maybe if I'm looking to make spaghetti this week, I need to say, okay, what I need to make spaghetti, what are the ingredients for it? Maybe it's send an API call somewhere, jump back a bunch of ingredients, maybe give me a local price or something like that on what I can use. Stuff like that I think would be super easy, super helpful. So I've been talking for a while. Is there any other questions we have regarding Decisions, your builds, help? Speak now or forever hold your peace until tomorrow's Lunch and Learn. So. All right, if that's it, we probably just end early. Again, I kind of want to just like, throw it out there again. If you are interested in doing, Decisions days, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to discuss this with you. We'd love for you to be in attendance. I'd love to meet you personally and help you with your decisions. In a sense, help you with your builds, anything I can do to help you guys utilize Decisions the best way possible in your company. So with that, everyone have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you.